Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Maria Fontana Show. I'm your host, Maria Fontana, and today I have with me a dear friend and icon in the beauty industry, my dear friend and amazing. I'm just always like so happy when I see Sam Villa. Hi, Sam, welcome.
Hi, Maria. It's great and an honor to be on your podcast, and I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, thank God, everything's good. So,
Good.
Sam, tell everyone a little bit about yourself because our audience is beauty and wellness professionals globally. So I'm sure everyone knows who you are, but just in case they don't, let them, give us a little background about you.
You bet. I've been in the industry for 43 years, and I want to make it clear I started when I was one. Just kidding. But it's been an incredible journey for 43 years. Um, I worked in my dad's barbershop. From there, I decided after college, I wanted to go actually, I dropped out of college to go to beauty school. I've been in doing hair, and it's just a passion and something that I love. From there, it led to opening my own salon for 20 years. I have to be honest, the two happiest days of my life, one when I opened it and two when I got rid of it. Yet I do miss it. I wanted to focus more on it on the education side. I moved to New York City and became the artistic director for Redken. I'm now the global artistic ambassador for Redken. During that time, I also opened up my own tool company, which I'm very proud of, based on ergonomics. We've been together now for 12 years, if you can imagine that. We launched the product, the tools, 12 years ago at the Orlando Premiere Show. And that's basically my journey. I must say, it's an incredible journey. I don't think I could have entered a better career, Maria.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, me too. I'm 40 in and I get it. And our
Mhm.
journeys are similar. I started out as a brick and mortar salon owner and then ventured into education and online education. And I do own two beauty brands also, hair care products. So I love the idea of, I always speak of reinvention and
Yes.
education. So I'd love your take on as we've evolved, right? Being, as they call us OGs, old gals in the industry.
I love it. I
But
can
there's
remember that.
so much wisdom and there's so much power that comes with that because we can share all the mistakes we've made that we can help people avoid. So I'd love your take on what are the key pillars for keeping yourself fresh, reinventing yourself, staying abreast of everything.
I think the number one thing is discipline. I mean, there's so much people continue to say, how do you stay relevant? It's a lot of research. Look, I'm not a rock star. I'm not an inventor. I'm not a genius. I'm not a visionary. I'm a teacher. I'm proud to say I'm a hairdresser who's chosen to take that teacher route. So I
Mhm.
look at myself as the messenger. A lot of
Mhm.
people say, well, where'd you learn that technique? And that's absolutely right. I've learned it from someone else. I've just taken it and maybe just adjust it because I think simplicity is today's brilliance, and you've got to keep things simple. I really believe that, you know, I I love teaching. My goal, like people continue to say, why do you keep doing what you're doing? You're all over the place. You keep traveling. It's because my mission, if you will, is to make hairdressers better hairdressers. And one of the best ways to do that is to be out there, be on here, and
Mhm.
sharing whatever it is I can that's going to help somebody, whether it's a small little gym or a large diamond, whatever it happens to be. The
Mhm.
most important thing is that they embrace the information they hear and they take it back to their salon and they make it work for themselves in their own way.
Yeah.
So I really believe, that as an education, I think is probably one of the things that kind of pushed me up to the top, aside from the people. Um, you know, I always wanted to influence the industry, but never realized that I'd be in this position. But I really believe it's because of the people that have pushed me to the top. And that's because I believe I give them things that they can use.
Yeah, I love that, Sam. And let's be honest, part of it too is really showing up for yourself,
Yes.
investing in yourself, right? And I have to say, I find myself always saying to people, if you can't understand why I'm doing something, you probably might be speaking to the wrong people. Because if you want to grow and expand in all ways, it's investing in yourself. So, what's your thoughts on maybe two things that everyone, if they're new, seasoned, should be doing? I mean, I'm going to tell you what I think they should be doing, and then you can chime in. I think everyone needs to get off social media and get out of groups and stop bitching and complaining and being negative and invest in themselves and take action to change things for their business, for their career. Now, I'd love to hear what you want to add to that.
Well, I think, there's two things I believe. Number one, and it relates to social. Okay. Number one is education. I think as a hairdresser, you must never cease to learn, just as I believe as a teacher, I must never cease to learn. I think, like I just was at the Orlando premiere show, and I have to say how exciting it was. I can't tell you how many manufacturers I spoke to, and they said, Sam, look around. Shows are back. And I really felt that. So number one is education. So whether you're a student or you're a salon professional, I don't care how many years you've been in the industry.
Yeah.
I think that if you can learn something else, another way to do what you're already doing, that's huge, because it lights a spark, a sense of enthusiasm in you. So
Yes.
live events have that capability of doing that. The vibe, the interactions, the connections, the mentoring, the schmoozing, if you want to call it that, networking that goes on is important in your career. The second thing is, I'm going to ask, when you go to these events, what do you do with it? What do you do with the information? So that's when you take it back. So you have to attend these events with intent and purpose, Maria. Yes, going there and having fun is great. But you got to really understand there's an 80-20 rule. 80% you're focusing on what your intent is, and 20% is that fun part and that networking part, if you will, based upon what your priorities are. But I think when you take the information back, you got to practice. You got to put it to use. So I think, when you put it to use, you discover things. You go, oh, wow, this does work, but I'm going to adjust it and do it this way. See, that lights that spark inside of you and underneath you. That's important. Now, social. Social is a great avenue. It's another resource that we have to learn. Yet, I think it's how you use it. It's another thing is intent and purpose. So, for example, set up something where you have a plan. Okay, I'm going to focus this week on color. And that's what you're doing. Focusing is researching color, lives, podcasts, whatever it is, techniques, things like that. Maybe another week you're focusing on design, another week. So there's a plan. Social is too easy to get on with no plan, and you're just there for hours before you know it. I did it this morning.
Yeah,
Before
mindless scrolling.
Yes, you're scrolling for an hour. I mean, I picked up some great ideas and things, but I spent an hour looking at things that didn't even apply to what I was there looking for.
Right.
So it's really focusing with intent. And then the other thing is, listen, I get so frustrated with everything in regards to, we have to respect each other. I think respect is one big thing in this industry that needs to start to gather and start to happen. A little bit more empathy needs to happen with each other. It's about artists supporting artists, brands supporting brands, and salons supporting salons. I've said that for years. I even said that in my opening speech at NAHA. It's time for us to gather and embrace the youth. We have to understand that the youth someday will be running this industry. So instead of talking about them, how about embracing them, but teaching them the standards that we want them to really get? They're going to be who they are. There's nothing we can do about it. The worth ethics of what you and I worked like when we were their age, that's gone. Their worth ethics are totally different. So stop complaining and embrace them.
Yes.
I highly recommend what you do is you become flexible. And everybody's heard that word. Yet I'm going to ask you, salon owners, are you flexible? Well, what do you mean, Sam? I don't care if you're commission or rental. Be flexible. You got a single parent out there with 3 kids that can work from 10 to 2, period. I'm sorry. Can't do 9 to 5, 9 to 8 like we used to, or whatever it happens to be. Those days are gone. Maybe you're going to find a handful of youth that might do that. But we have to embrace the needs and the desires of these lifestyles that are now existing in today's world. There's a thing I just want to say on social. I want everybody to pause and think. And you've probably seen this. I know probably people have heard this. So think, THINK. So when you're posting, I want you to take that letter T and just put true. Is it true what you're about to post? Or is it just something you're making up? H, is it really happening? Or is it, once again, you're posting because you need to, you feel that it's a system that you've gotten yourself into, and it's just something you're posting because it's part of something you discovered and it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I, is it inspiring?
Mm-hmm.
Is it inspiring, or is it going after somebody? And is it really necessary?
Yep.
And K, is it kind? So before you push that social button, start thinking about what you're about ready to send out there. Be careful. I mean, and be prepared, like social, listen, you cannot have a soft mindset if you're going to play the social, the Instagram game, the
Yes.
social game, the IG game, the Facebook game, because there's trolls out there that are
Yeah.
just going to be, they're going to do what they do and they're going to say what they say. It exists. You got to let that go in one ear, let it go
Yep.
through your eyes and back out the other.
Block, delete. That's my thing. Block,
There you
delete.
go. Mm-hmm.
So I love this topic, and I want to ask you, so I'm mentoring a few people right now. In my, I still have a brick and mortar. And what I've done is I've gone against the grain. I do what you say. I've changed over the years. And
Right.
I get a lot of hate for it because I talk about it. I'm like, we got to change because things can't stay the same. And so I have one of my mentees, Dana Cecilia. I adore her. I adore this kid. She's not a kid, she's a woman, but I call her a kid. And I said to Dana, I go, I'm going to be talking to Sam this week. Well, I thought she was going to pass out.
No kidding.
I go, Sam is a beautiful soul. And I told her, so would you give my Dana a shout out,
Oh,
Sam?
Dana, I'm going to give you a huge shout out. And actually, I'm sending you a virtual hug, heart to heart. And
Yeah.
I want you to remember something, Dana. What you put out is what you get back. And I want you to hear what I said. Education is the most valuable resource you will ever have in this career. Remember, never stop learning. There's always something to learn, Dana.
I love that, Sam. And we were talking, and Dana said to me, I'll just use her as an example. She said,
Mhm.
Maria, you're the first person that ever said to me, I'm going to build your dream inside of mine.
Oh,
And
I love
it's
that.
been the most powerful thing. And again, flexibility. Change
Yes,
up your mindset, right?
right. Well, there's this I'm very happy that to say that I've become a part of a group called Artists on Go.
Ooh.
And it's something that Pat Parente's gotten involved with, and I really believe in Pat Parente. And Artists on Go, I really think is something that's going to change the industry in regards to salon owners, commission salons, and independent and session stylists.
Okay.
Imagine Artists on Go is like Airbnb. You
Mm.
have these salons from all over that have signed up and they're there, they're available.
Mhm.
So I'm a single parent and I'm trying to look for a salon in my area where I can work maybe some days hourly, 3 hours, 4 hours a day. I can work one day all day. I can work the next day from half a day. But with Artists on Go, you rent hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly.
Mm.
You're flexible
Mm.
because there's too many salons out there that have empty chairs. That's
Yep.
the number one complaint I hear. I can't fill up my salon.
Yep.
Listen, the days have changed where it's difficult to fill up the chairs. That's where Artists on Go come in. So I'm a stylist. I'm looking for a place to work. I go on Artists on Go. I see the photos of the salon, like an Airbnb, and I'm looking at these photos and I say, that looks really nice. I
Mm.
scroll down. I see the culture of the salon, what
Mhm.
it's about, how they work,
Mhm.
whether it's commission, whether it's rental, whatever it is, it's on there and I can choose to work there. I scroll down. I see the policies of the salon. Do I like the policies that I see of the salon? Now I scroll down, I take a quiz. So I take a quiz. And once I pop that quiz, AI interacts, boom, up pop all the salons that say that you will fit. This is incredible.
I love this,
Media.
Sam.
So then what you do is you say, oh, wow, look at these salons. I like that salon I was looking
Mm.
at. But after taking the quiz, now you do all these other salons. And now you're set up and you have a conversation, boom, whatever it is. But
Mhm.
listen, it's a win-win because now I'm choosing how much money I can afford. I can afford to pay for 4 hours a day. And that salon owner says, hey, I'm happy. That chair was empty forever. Now at least I got 4 hours a day. Plus I still got 10 hours left, 8 hours left that I can still rent it. You
Mm.
see, so I mean, now you got the commission working to next to an independent, but this independent has been vetted by AI, by this whole program that they've set up, and by the salon owner. So it's perfect. Now, can you imagine your team has somebody new working there for 4 hours that you vetted, that you cited works, and now this team's watching, and this happens to be a session stylist who happened to be in town working, but had clients in town. Or maybe it's a new stylist that your team can learn from. I mean,
I
I
love
really
this.
believe it's a huge home run.
So
So if
how do I
you
connect
go,
with this? How do
you
you
go
get
to
on this?
artistongo.com,
Okay.
and it's amazing. I'd highly recommend you
All right.
research it.
I'm gonna check it
I,
out for my own brick and mortar. I love
yes.
this concept.
And I really suggest you start talking about it, Maria,
Okay.
because there's too many salons out there that we need to help. And these
Okay.
salon owners, I know I'm probably going to get a lot of flack. They're going to go, what are you doing, man?
Well,
But what they need to understand, look, I'm trying to help you.
yeah.
This is for commission. It's not just for rental. You mean that I can bring somebody in, Sam, just to fill that chair for a day? Sure, you
Yeah.
can.
I would
So
do
it's
it
a
in a minute.
win-win. Yes.
And again,
And like I
everyone
say,
has free will, right, Sam? You
that's
have
correct.
free will to do what you want. No one's pushing anything down your throat. These are things that are available, and if it aligns with you as an owner, go for it. If
There you
not,
go.
no shade.
Absolutely. Yeah, go on there and just tell them Sam sent you. And I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I'm really supporting it. I think it's new, it's fresh, and it's a win-win for everybody because it's flexibility, which is about what the world is about today.
I love this, Sam. I'm going to check into it and I'm happy to endorse you and support you on this mission because I think, again, I'm a free thinker and I
Yes.
do things very differently in my brick and mortar. Again, but that's just my personality.
Right?
So I would just love, I know you're on a tight schedule and you blessed me with your time today. What would you like to make your closing statement and where can we send anyone to connect with you? I will drop everything in the show notes below this podcast, guys, when it
Beautiful.
airs, so you can connect with Sam with all his information. But Sam, you tell them what you would
I'd
like to
love for
close with.
everyone, if you've never been to a Redken symposium, I highly recommend it. It's being held June the 24th and 25th in Nashville. And it's good.
Oh,
You talk about education and entertainment and a fun place to be
mhm.
for grand openings on Sunday, classes on Monday, Tuesday. I mean, it's just amazing
Okay.
opportunity time to really gather with a huge crowd. There's going to be, so far we sold, I think about 5,000 tickets, and there's still more room. But I highly recommend you visit that. Come visit me at the Redken Exchange. Follow me on at Samvia Hair on all of my social platforms. But most importantly, I highly recommend you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Everything that I do and strong education and salonable education is on my YouTube channel. That's Samvia tutorials, and you'll
I
find
love
that on YouTube. But I really want to leave everybody with this. I think, Maria and I have really touched on some key things on the whole idea of discipline, flexibility, education versus social, how there's so many avenues for us all in order to create our own successful path. But I really think that there is one key thing that we can never forget, and that's education.
it.
Education to me is the heart of Samvia, and the soul of Samvia is teaching and sharing and getting messages out there that help you behind the chair. Most importantly is respect. I think it's important that we continue to respect each other. My mission in 2025 is to support the youth as much as possible and embrace the youth. It's time for us to take them by the hand, mentor them, nurture them, and teach them the standards of this industry so that someday when they do step into the places like a Maria and they step into a place like a Sam, they're actually doing it with intent and purpose and sharing in the right way, in the right manner that surrounds this industry. I think this industry is all about what you put out is what you're going to get back. And we all have to remember that. Remember that every person that sits in your chair is valuable. A man was watching, a local was walking his beaches of South Carolina one day, and he sees another man about 100 yards away picking things up off the beach and throwing it into the water. And he goes over to him. He sees exactly what he's doing. He's saying, sir, those starfish, that's what they do. They come up on the coast of the Carolinas, and, some of them make it back and some of them don't. And he looks at the old man. He looks down at the starfish on the beach. He picks that one up and throws it in. And he looks back at the old man and says, well, I made a difference on that one. What I want you to understand is everybody that you interact with in this industry, you have an opportunity to impact them. Every client that sits in your chair, you have an opportunity to empower them, impact them, and transform their life. Basically, whether it be on the conversation or whether it be working with your hands. Your hands are a powerful tool. So really understand that there's plenty for everybody. It's just up to you to go out and get it.
Amen, Sam. Thank
And I
you
leave and
so
I
much.
leave you with knowing that your progression is our obsession at SamV.
Thank you, Sam. I love you very much. Thank you for being a
Love you too,
guest
Maria.
today. I can't say how grateful I am. Everyone, everything's in the show notes. Connect with Sam. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, tag us in this podcast so we can touch more lives globally and make a difference. Thanks, guys.